recording. All right. So for new folks, I also have my notes so we stay on target. All right, so starting standing comfortably, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what spine movements I'm doing to warm up. So I want you to think about long, tall spine. You're pushing out on the feet just a little bit. You're lifting the arches, and then you're gently going to rock your pelvis a little bit to the back and then to the front. So you're going into an anterior tilt when your booty goes back, and a posterior tilt, your tailbone tucks under. Just kind of checking in. This is kind of like a warm-up in Pilates or yoga. We just have our own method of doing things. All right, so you're rocking the pelvis. Just notice right to left. Are you the same? Is it different? What's going on? All right, and then back to neutral. Welcome, Sarah Jane. And then you're going to push your hips out to the side and pull back in. So you're trying to keep everything in the same plane. Push out to the side, back in. Those feet are still pushing out. So notice, is your range of motion the same? Does it feel like you get there the same way? Is one side tighter than the other? So I feel like my range of motion is pretty good, but I'm tighter on this side. So rib cage is staying relatively still, and you're really trying to mobilize the pelvis. All right, last one. All right, into hip hike. So now you're going to bend the knee. You're going to find your hip skews and bring yourself back. Bend the knee, skew, bring it back. And again, notice what you feel. Rib cage should be staying relatively still. It has a little bit of response, so I'm going to exaggerate. It should be doing a little bit of this. One more. All right, then hip pelvis rotation. So shoulders stay still, rotate your pelvis one direction, back to center, rotate the other way. Again, similarities, differences. So for me, I actually feel it on my knee when I go that way. This way is much easier. Less on my knee this time. So again, as we repeat this, you're going to feel changes. So again, being mindful of that, noticing what you feel. Last one, and then release. All right, rib cage. So again, starting with flexion, rounding, and extension. So again, the pelvis is going to stay relatively still. We're trying to isolate through that rib cage. One more. Up. All right, then going into rotation. So pelvis is staying still. Turn the rib cage. Your head and hips almost go the opposite direction. And again, what's your range of motion? So this way, I have way more range of motion than if I go that way. And again, it's normal to have a little bit of opposite. See, now it's starting to open up. So being mindful, again, of that as you repeat this, what changes? And we'll do this again at the end because it'll change again. All right, last one. All right, this is your axis of rotation, middle of your cervical or your breastbone, and slowly lean to one side, back to center. Lean to the other side. Lean. Better range of motion that way. Oh, less that way. One more set. All right, arms. One arm goes up and overhead. So notice how neck and shoulders feel. It's all connected. For me, my left arm is easier than my right, although range of motion is pretty good on both of them today. Last one here. And then up to the side. Out to the side. Last set. All right, last one, internal, external rotation. So you're slowly going to rotate your elbows out. You're going to rotate your elbows in. Again, chest, that range of motion. Does it feel similar? How do the shoulder blades feel? How does the neck feel? All of that gets involved. All right. Go ahead and grab that foam roller. So we're going to start off with a side lunge. So holding on to the foam roller, it's going to stay down at your waist for now. So wide width of stance is entirely up to you. And then you're slowly going to bend into one knee and then bring yourself back out. So as you're doing this, think about you're moving from the femurs and the hip sockets. The pelvis follows a little bit, but most of the motion happens elsewhere. Warm up those legs. Arms are down by your sides. All right, last one here. And then you're gonna push back and even reach behind you. Push back so that front hand actually pushes the back hand farther back. So get an active chest stretch. You can even think about pulling the shoulder blade toward the spine on the arm that's back. See if that helps. Last one here. And then going into lateral. So pushing sideways and then up. Bring it down, other side. Push sideways and up, down, sideways, up, and sideways, up. A couple more. All right, so we're going to change this just a little bit. So you're going to push out and both ends are going to pull. So it's almost like it's doing a half circle. You lean up and then pull in. We're spinning today. We're spinning today. Whoa! Spinning today. And again, notice how that spin adds a little bit more. So I want that bottom arm very actively reaching. One more set. All right, and then back to center, check in. My legs are sliding farther apart. All right, so we're gonna do the chest one again. So you're gonna lean, push back, and then with this heel, I want you to lift the heel, turn your hips. So you're getting into a little full body twist, and you're gonna feel the stretch go down your side, the opening there, and then slowly back to center. So chest, as you side lunge, lift the heel, turn the hips. Notice that range of motion gets bigger. So drop in, chest, lift the heel, full body rotation. Push, lift, rotate. Push, lift, rotate. So again, you're able to get into a little bit more rotation even because we're activating from the toe all the way up. Last time here. And release. Shake it out. Okay. So it goes in from over in front of you. You're going to do a front lunge or a back lunge. Excuse me. All right, so get comfortable, get set. Back heel is lifted. We're just going to start off with a lunge down and up. Again, make sure you're good. Feel the back toe, big toe pressing into the ground. That heel stays lifted. Make sure the front heel is nice and solid. All right, now you're going to go down. Whoa, you're going to lift up. You're going to go down. So find your balance, center it, engage through the core, glute, lift up. So take your time here. Feel your activation sequence. Down, so glute, core, foot, lift up. Take it back. We're adding in, don't worry. And arms go overhead. Bring them down. Arms go overhead. So again, as you're pushing the arms overhead, push the foam roller overhead, think about move from the shoulder blades. Keep the elbows slightly bent if you need to stay out of your neck. 2 more. And release. Step it in. Shake it out. Notice right to left. Other foot. All right, so again, just getting used to this side, how it feels, just down and up. Down and up. Down and up. All right, adding on the knee lift. So core engages, glute, foot, core. Bring yourself up. And then slow control, bring it down and in. Core engages up. Again, think about lifting the arch. You can tell this side is not as coordinated as the other one. Couple more here, and then we'll add the arms. Woo. All right, when you're ready, woo, arms go overhead. Again, move from the shoulder blades. So if you want a little different, reach the foam roller forward as opposed to just up. It's a different motion on the shoulders, shoulder blades. Again, notice what you feel. Where's your neck? Feel the strength of this balance leg. Let's do 2 more. And release, shake it out. Nice work. Okay. Foam roller off to the side. I need fluids, hold on. Single leg balance work. All right, so all the weight goes on your right foot. Think about big toe into the ground, lift your arch, core engages, glute engages, pull that kneecap to your hip, and then just pick the other foot up. So you're thinking about level hips, long spine, okay, from here. And then with this other leg, I just want you to gently push out and pull back in. So even lead a little bit with the heel straight out to your side and then pull back in. Hello, Alistair. You gonna join us, Maria? So stay lifted up and out. 2 more. 1 more, and then I want you to stay up on that foot. Bring the foot to your shin. So the foot to the shin. So again, reset the pelvis. Mine dropped. Core engages. Pelvis stays still. You're going to slowly open the knee out to the side and then slowly back. So only as far out as you're comfortable, and you can keep your pelvis still. And back to the side. There you go. Arms serve your balance. Low and wide is more stable. As they come up and in, it becomes more challenging. So what do you need? And again, think about relaxing the shoulders. If you want to hold the foam roller and you can reach it, you're welcome to, but you don't have to. Rotate. So think about deep hip muscles here doing the work. You can keep your arms overhead. Give me a couple more. Nobody's, oh, there goes there. There's the first one. All right, and release. Shake it out. Other leg. All right, so find that stability on your foot. Big toe down, lift your arch, pull the kneecap up, core and glute engage, and then just pick up your fireplace leg. And again, find that stability. You're lifting up and out of that hip. And then that leg leads out to the side and then back in. Again, lead with the heel just a little bit. That gets you out of those hip flexors into those deeper glutes. Couple more. Try to keep the body still. Felt like I was more upright on the other side, and I'm leaning more on this side. Last one. And then bring the foot to your shin. Reset yourself. Stay lifted out of the glute. That's better. And then slowly open out. Keep the pelvis still. It's like a clamshell. Bring it back in. Open out. Arms serve your balance. Low and wide, more stable. Up and in. More challenging. What do you need on this side? Acknowledging that right and left can be different. Good. Let's do about 3 more. 1, 2, and last one, 3, and release. Shake it out. Excellent job. All right. The new one that we started with. So with your chair, and again, if you need to, put your foam roller right behind the cat and then hold on. Okay? So the deeper we go into this, the more hamstring flexibility is required, but right now I still want you to focus on what the core is doing and what the spine is doing. So spread your hands, put weight over your hands, blow on the cat. Fine. All right, and then from here, straight spine to start, feet are comfortable distance apart. All right, so from here, engage through the core, feel the draw up from the pubic bone to the navel, the ribs drop down, and then from the tailbone, you're starting to round the low back. And then release. So very gently from the pelvis, you're going to pull that pubic bone up. You're going to try to reach it toward the ribs. So the ribs are going to get a little bit of flexion here, a little bit of rounding as you go. There you go. So whatever height works for you. Again, if you're like, oh, that's easy, Sharon, then you drop it down some. Okay, so feeling the abdominals do the work. All right, so I want you to feel hip angle. What's going on with the hip angle right now? So it's closing down. It's opening up at the front. All right, so be mindful of that. All right, and then all the way it goes on your right foot. Take that left foot just a little bit off the ground. And now I want you to do that same tuck in, but the left foot is going to, the left leg is going to come forward when you round, so the hip angle stays the same. The abdominal movement of the low back is creating that leg coming forward just a little bit. It's all about the oblique connection on both sides to get that rounding. And then again, your challenge here is to keep the angle of that hip constant on this side. The other side actually gets to change. Give me two more. All right, and release. Check in. All right, set yourself up the other side. So abs in, give yourself a little round, lift that right foot up. And then as you exhale, round more, that right leg comes forward just a little bit. Again, let the spine movement bring that right leg forward. So upper back can round a little bit as your low back rounds, but then it should flatten. So everything is actually working together. Nothing is getting stuck in isolation. Two more. And again, noticing your right and left feel the same when we go to this asymmetry. All right, shake it out. See how you feel. Oh, now we have cat sky. All right, so we're coming to the ground now, which is very, very fun to play with if you're a cat. I'm going to bring this in a little bit. There we go. All right, so you're actually on all fours. So long spine, core engaged, shoulder blades are pulled back and in. Tops of the feet are pressing down. Spread the hands. This is about the abdominals holding you up so your wrists don't feel it. So again, if you need to, go to knuckles. All right, so from here, exhale, elbows bend towards your knees, slowly keep the spine straight, lower yourself down, head bump the cat, and then bring yourself back up. So working with the triceps here, range of motion is going to be relatively small, but it's not necessarily about the triceps. It's about can you keep your spine straight? And as you go down that straight spine, what do you feel in your spine? What do you feel along the back? Two more. Last one. And then shake it out. All right, grabbing that foam roller again. And then you're going to kneel, so your shins go on the foam roller. Hip distance apart. So again, you're in all fours. If you need to go to knuckles, you're welcome to. So we were working a moment ago standing with that round back and the straight back. Okay, so now I want you to round back and pull the knees in. So use the abdominals to do it instead of the hip flexors. Push back, straight spine. Exhale, abdominals pull the knees in. So what does that mean about that hip angle? This hip angle here is staying constant. and out. So if you're doing it on the foam roller, you're actually rolling out your shins as well, which for some of you could be uncomfortable, depending on how tight they are. One more. And release. So again, if you're using the core, you're not going to feel it so much in the arms or in that low back. All right, no toys. You're sitting sides out. Let's do legs stacked. Hand is in line with your hip. Core is engaged. Let yourself slouch for a moment. Hey, we got some slouching class today. Yay. All right, now I want you to think about core engages, shoulder blade pulls back and in. Pull the hand toward your hip without moving it and engage the bottom oblique set. And then release. So core engages. What happens when that core engages? It straightens, right? So this is it straightening. And you got to pull this hand in too. So if you need a better feel for it, do it from the elbow. But you can feel that pull in a little bit better. Elbow should be aligned underneath that shoulder or even in a little bit. And again, that gets you into a better position for that shoulder. All right, so whichever way you want to go there. All right, so from here, core engages. Get that set first and then exhale, lift the hips. Slowly release down and slouch. Engage, set the core, lift the hips. Release down and slouch. Again, you can be on your elbow, you can be on your hand, your choice. I feel like I'm not quite square. All right, so up, hold it here. You're going to take the top leg, you're going to bring it in front, turn your toes, tuck the back foot under, stand yourself up. That was a great expression there. All right, bring yourself down. And then down. Slouch. So we go up and down, same in reverse. All right, so engage, core, ribs, lift the hips. Now bring that foot around, tuck the back toes, stand up. Step together, step back, same leg, hand down, drop the knee, bring that top leg back. You're in a side plank again. Release and slouch. So engage, core, lift, up. Bring it around. Stand up. Step together. Step back. Bring it down. And then side plank. All right, one more time, and then we'll do the other side. So hand pulls in. Again, you can be on the hand, you can be on the elbow. Engage, lift. That core has to be activated. That makes everything else just that much easier. I know on the replay it's going to be great because I'm chopping off my head as I stand up. That's okay. All right, flip around. So again, we're just going to practice that engage first. Let's go down to the elbow. Slouch. Elbows under the shoulder or even in a little bit. So pull the elbow in, engage the core, feel that bottom rib lift up and release. So again, you're getting those obliques set, that core set before we do anything else. That makes it easier. Okay? And again, you can choose to stay there or you can go to your hand. So same thing here, we just have a different range of motion because we're now lifted. All right, so up and lift the hips. Lower the hips, release down. Engage to the upper body, the core, lift the hips. Release down and release. Uno más. And down. All right, so adding on the fun. So lifting up, stepping around. I now have a chair in the way. And stand up. Step back. Hand and knee go down. Back to plank. And release. So engage, core, lift up. Step around, tuck the back toes under, drive with the legs to stand up. I'm going to have to try that without the mat on this side. Step together, back, down, side, and release. 2 more. Core engages, up, around. Getting it, getting it. Bring it down, drop the knee, back to the side, and release. Last time, up, step around, up, back, hand and knee down, and then release. All right. Oh, check in for a moment, just see how you feel. And then we got to come back and do our check-ins. So bring yourself up, however works for you. I should probably not chop my head off now. All right, back to where we started. So tuck the tailbone under, posterior tilt, anterior tilt. So rocking, rocking. Notice how you feel. Does it feel different than when we start? All right, now the rib cage stays relatively still, push out to the side. Again, you're pushing out on your feet a little bit. All right, hip hike, bend the knee, straighten, bend the knee, straighten. And then hip rotation. Again, shoulders are going to stay relatively square. All right, let's go with the rib cage rotation. Now the hips stay square. If anything, you can think about pushing the hip. You're going toward forward. Let's see, am I better here? I feel more balanced there. All right, last set. Lateral flexion. Rotate about the rib cage, back up. Rotate about, back up. And then center. Flexion and extension. So from the rib cage, round forward and up. But again, how's it feel? What's changed? All right, arms when you're ready. Up to the ceiling. Up to the ceiling. Again, move from the shoulder blade. Take your time to figure out what that means inside your body. Last time here, and then going out to the side. Last one. All right, arms forward, rotation. Elbows go up, elbows go in. And you are done for today.